Hey YouTube, this is Alex again from Team Generations, back in again with another deck profile. This time we are looking at a Granblue deck profile for Vampire Princess of Nightfog Nightrose. So I know this has been out for a little bit, and there's been tons of different deck profiles on this, but it's kind of taken me a while to really come up with and really finalize my build. So happy to bring this to you guys. Hope you enjoy. Let's jump into some pros and cons. All right, jumping right in then to some pros of the deck. This deck is super cool. I really like it. Very versatile. And the first pro that I would really say along those lines of versatility is that it has great searching potential. Your deck basically is, I like to think of it as like a piggy bank, and then your drop zone is kind of like where you can withdraw from that piggy bank. This deck allows you to search out and gain those key pieces that you do need with relative ease if you have the right cards and right setup. Yeah, so I would say that first pro is really being able to have that great searching potential, really get what you need for that particular situation. And yeah, the second pro is that it can multi-attack. So we've seen this as a trend now for the more recent Protect decks, that we are now multi-attacking. We're no longer falling victim to the 1-2-3 swing and turn. This deck does it extremely well. Really great toolbox for it. Great units you can kind of call out for any situation that you need. But yeah, the multi-attack engine in this is really good. The third pro that I would say is that it clears its own targets on the board after they attack while buffing them up. So I'll obviously go over it in the profile, and you could probably even read it right here, but Nightrose essentially clears the board, wipes all of her own units, puts them in the drop zone back into your kind of like deposit piggy bank idea. And this is super helpful against decks that kind of snipe your board or are kind of relying on taking pieces out. I think when Full Bronto kind of comes out, we'll see that this will be a pretty decent matchup for it overall. So yeah, moving into then some of the cons of the deck. I feel that my hand size in this deck is pretty much dependent on me. I want to say that I have to call a decent amount to kind of set up my drop zone. And bleeding my hand is not always the greatest thing in the world, but there are key pieces in this deck that allow us to kind of recoup that. I just believe that the hand size is not quite as large as some of the other Protect decks that I have played or played against. So I would say number one, that's the number one con. Next up then, I think it is really reliant on having key pieces in the drop zone. If you don't have them in there, it's hard to kind of search them out. There are a few cards, but basically this whole deck kind of works off milling your own deck and then getting those key pieces into the drop zone to pull them out with other cards. But if you don't have them in there, it can be tough. There are a couple cards we play to kind of get around this, but we definitely say that is the second con. And yeah, so yeah, let's hop into the deck profile itself, and I'll show you guys how the deck kind of plays out and what I'm running. Starting off with the main heart and soul of the deck, we have our grade 3 boss unit. This is Vampire Princess of Nightfog Nightrose. Super cool unit, glad they brought her back from G. On Vanguard Circle, when our rear guard attacks or boosts, that unit gets an additional plus 5,000 until the end of that battle, and we can retire that unit at the end of that battle. So if you have a column, it essentially gives the column an additional plus 10. Super nice to hit those little extra numbers. Also clears it, like I said, too, so they're not targets just sitting on board. Stops us from really intercepting, I guess, but that's not a huge deal in this deck. Its second ability is that when it attacks, we get to counterblast one, choose a column, and call up to 2 cards from our drop zone to rearguard circle in that column. If our opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit gets plus 10,000 until the end of that battle. This is a super nice skill. You essentially can call 2 cards to the same column. If you call a certain card, you could also call another card to another column. So you're essentially enabling yourself to get 5 attacks per turn if you have the right setup. If not, you can make a super beefed up column just on the 1 and 2 that she calls out. But yeah, this is the main heart and soul of the deck. The whole thing kind of rides or dies on her. Super good boss unit. All right, moving on then, we are running 2 of these guys, an oldie but goldie. This is Dragon Undead Skull Dragon. This came out in the Champions of Asia set, pretty old at this point. Its skill is continuous in hand. This card cannot be normal called, so you can't just drop it on field. We always kind of want to see this guy in the drop zone. Its Vanner Rearguard Circle is that during your turn, this unit gets plus 2,000 for each card in your drop zone. And then at the end of battle that attacked, retire this unit. So kind of goes along with that Nightrose, retire your own unit, get your targets off board, end up in the drop zone. Super powerful card. This is really our finisher, our main beater. This is like everything that we want in a card to be summoned out from or called out from Nightrose. So running that out of 2 of. A lot of people do run it at a 3. That's not incorrect, but I find that with the way I'm running this deck, 2 is enough for right now. I don't want to get too cloggy with any of those in our hand. Moving on to our grade 2s though, again another older card. This came out, I believe, in the My Glorious Justice set. Yep, this is Greed Shade. His skill is on Vanguard rear. During our turn, if our drop zone is 10 or more cards, this unit gets an additional plus 5,000. Pretty easy to hit that in this deck. And then its rearguard circle is when placed, discard a card from our hand, put 2 cards from the top of my deck into the drop zone, return a card not named Greed Shade to your hand. Now, super nice to get our pieces out. This was always kind of a staple ever since it dropped. Super nice to mill your deck, have that extra power buff for your Skull Dragon if it's on field, if you're planning on attacking with it this turn. Get something out from your drop zone to your hand, so it kind of extends your plays. Very possible to do there. And just that power buff is nice too, so key crucial card. Need 4 of these in my opinion. I'm running it out of 4 of as such, so yeah. Moving on then, this is another oldie but goldie. I feel like a lot of these cards are kind of recycled from old sets, but that's just how the deck plays out. This is Storm Ride Ghost Ship, super cool card. It's continuous in hand skills that cannot be normal called, similar to, what was it, Skull Dragon, and it can't be called to Guardian Circle either, so that 5k shield is kind of, out the door, whatever. Its second skill, this is the important one, is when it attacks, this unit gets an additional 15,000 until the end of the battle. At the end of that battle, we get to draw a card and retire this unit. So if we are finding that our hand is lacking and we do want a pretty powerful unit off of Nightrose's skill, we can actually call this guy out. We could have him draw us a card, which is nice, and then get retired anyway. That power buff, super, super nice. I do run it out of 2 of. I find that we, run into it often enough, and it is a good choice to call off of Nightrose's skill. So we are running it at that 2 of. Alright, on to our next grade 2. This is awesome card. Might be the MVP of the deck. Honestly, this is Pirate Swordsman Columbard. This came out in the latest set. When placed, Butterfly to Moonlight. Its skill on Vanguard or Rearguard is when placed, we get to counterblast 1. Search our deck for up to 1 card, put in our drop zone, shuffle our deck, and we can call up to 1 card from our drop zone to Rearguard Circle. This ability may only be used once per turn with the card of the same name. Now, I mean, this is everything Granblue kind of needed. This is enabling us to search our deck for whatever we need in that moment, put it into our drop zone, then call it to Rearguard Circle. You can't get it to hand, so you can't just like search your deck for a Sentinel and then pop it into your hand just to survive a little bit longer, but this is another card, extends our plays, gets our key pieces out there. This can help us fill our drop zone if we need. This can help us get that attacker if we need. If we want to fill our hand with another draw power kind of card, we can do that. Columbard is such a necessary part of this deck, and we definitely should be run out of 4 of. For our last grade 2, kind of running just one of these guys. This is Captain Nightmist. This skill is on Rearguard Circle when placed. We can counterblast 1, call up to 1 grade 1 or less card from our drop zone to Rearguard Circle. If our drop zone is 10 or more cards, we can call it regardless of grade. It is hiding behind that 10 cards in drop zone wall, but we find that we actually hit that pretty easily in this deck due to a couple cards that we run. I'll show you in just a moment. So this is good just to kind of search out those key pieces again. The nice thing is that it does call it to Rearguard Circle. Yeah, super easy. 1, 2, 3. I'm running it at a 1 of. Moving on to our grade 1 lineup. As you can see through all of our grade 2s, we do run through a lot of counterblasts along with Nightrose, who counterblasts as well. So we are running 4 of these guys, Dancing Cutlass. This skill is an act ability in drop zone. We can bind 1 other Dancing Cutlass from our drop zone, put the top card of my deck into the drop zone, and then call this card to Rearguard Circle, and then we get to countercharge 1. So it's another body on board. It's a 6k body in general, so it's not super threatening, but with that +5 that Nightrose will give us, it is a decent booster overall. Makes you hit like weird numbers. Super important to get that counter charge off. There's times where like, your opponent will kind of counter starve you. You only have like 1 or maybe 2 for the turn. You have 2 of these guys in your drop, you're kind of set. You have that counter charge online and another body on the board without calling from hand. So super cool and important in this deck. And we are running out of 4. Moving on then to our another grade 1. This guy I was on the fence with for so long. This is Skeleton Sea Navigator. This came out on the new set as well. His skill is on Rearguard Circle. We get to rest 2 rearguards and put 5 cards on the top of my deck into the drop zone. I didn't know for a long time if I wanted to run this card or not. I was trying it without. I just found that the games got too grindy. I didn't have the key pieces that I needed really in my drop zone. This made the flow of the deck just mesh together a lot better. You're putting cards into the drop zone, you're resting your units to get that, so you're not using a counterblast, which is super important in this deck to have. This guy kind of facilitates and gets our powerful cards online a little bit sooner, gets those key pieces into the drop zone, and I'm really liking it at a 4 of. You can bump it down if that's what you feel is necessary, but right now I'm running it at a 4 of. I like it. It accelerates our game plan and strategy a lot faster and gets us past, you know, like the 10 card kind of boundary that I was mentioning too for Captain Nightmist. So yeah, running that at a 4 of. Another 4 of that we are running in this deck is another super cool card. This is Witch Doctor of Powdered Bone. Can't believe I pronounced that wrong. Sagno Bone. So his skill is Drop Zone. We get to activate, we get to discard a card from our hand and put this card on the bottom of our deck. We can call a grade 1 card from our drop zone to rearguard circle. If our drop zone is 10 or more cards, we may call any grade instead. This is another great card that pairs along with our Skeleton Sea Navigator. If we have 10 cards, we can basically pop out anything that we want. So if you have a Skull Dragon sitting in hand, you don't have a way to kind of dump him, this card kind of enables that. Put it in the drop, you have 10 in there, boom, call anything out. This is another super key critical kind of card. It's nice that it is a rare, it's not super expensive. I love the card. I think it's, again, just another way for us to search the giant toolbox, giant piggy bank that is our deck / drop zone. So yeah, running that at a 4 of, super critical card. Almost done with the grade 1s. We have this guy up next. This is Ripple Banshee. Her skill is when placed from drop zone, we get to Soul Blast 1 and draw a card, and then this unit gets an additional 4,000 till the end of the turn. So again, if we are looking to draw a little bit more into our hand, we find that we're running through it, whatever the case may be, we can call her out and we can basically Soul Blast 1 to that draw that card, which is super nice in culmination with the Ghost Ship. We get 2 extra draws off if we find that we don't think we're gonna be in the greatest of positions for the next turn. We need to have a bit more cards in hand. So yeah, I am running her at a 3 of. I was running 4 of, but I find that I'm not looking for her every single turn. There are other cards that we kind of do want to call off of Nightrose. I'll show you the combo in just a little bit, but we are running her at a 3 of. Useful card for when we need her. And yeah, still a decent staple in the deck. And then the last grade 1 that I am running is Tommy the Ghosty Brother. This is our grade 3 searcher. During our turn, if our drop zone is 5 or more cards, this guy gets an additional 5,000. And then when placed from hand, we get to look at 5 cards in the top of our deck, reveal 1 grade 3, and add them to hand. We find that we kind of find our Nightrose, however we really need it. Like you can search out different things, kind of put it into your drop zone, have other things kind of bring that out. But I find one of these guys kind of works. I just kind of had an extra slot. I don't think there's anything crazy that we're kind of missing. So yeah, I'm running him just at a 1 of. Onto the trigger lineup. This is kind of where I struggled for a while too. We are running actually 11 crit, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, 11 crit. I'm actually running the crit sentinel triggers in here. Let me just pan this back a little bit. There we go. And we're running 1 sentinel, and then obviously our starter. I was running 4 draw sentinels for a while, the draw PGs. I found that they were good for having games kind of continue on, grinding them out, but that wasn't our win condition. We want to get on board with the super, super powerful unit and just kind of pressure as much as possible. Having the additional crit triggers, I think, really help that. In addition, I know I kind of mentioned hand size. To get some of these plays off, you really need to dump from hand. It's not always calling from drop zone. When you're PGing, you have to discard another card from hand. That kind of doesn't always work out. I find with the 30k shields, we're typically at a decent enough number where these things do kick in. You're pretty much going to block an attack. Very rarely do they get through when you are dropping these, and they don't need to have an additional card come out from hand. So I like them. I'm running them in the deck. I think they're super useful. And so yeah, I'm liking the way that it's kind of piloting as of right now. Again, I'm just kind of playing with my ratios here, just different crit triggers. So yeah, if you guys are enjoying the profile so far, let us know. You can comment and subscribe to find other deck profiles that are coming out. Yeah, let's get right into a couple test hands just to show you a combo or two, and we'll jump right in. Alright, so let's get into a test hand now. Overall, super fun deck. I am kind of enjoying it quite a bit. Granblue kind of just is my favorite Protect clan. I always kind of like the Kokaitis style. It was alright with Basskirk too. This deck just allows you to get powerful swings out pretty much every turn. Kind of you control the flow of the game, the pace of it. Yeah. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we do have a 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna put 2 back. It's not great to ride Greed Shade because we are looking for his rear guard skill, but dude, we got it. Let's shuffle back in. All right, stand and draw. Let's assume we go first. All right, we got 2 9. All right, cool, cool, cool. Let us actually ride him. We kind of need our navigator for other things later on. So I'm gonna save that in my hand. I'm going to draw off that ride, obviously. And then over to, did I draw for turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, no, I did not draw for turn, draw for turn, draw for ride. Okay, we've got another navigator. Actually, yeah, let's do this. Yeah, 1, 2, rest those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, already some good targets in here. We know we have this guy, the Negro Bone in there too, is pretty cool. We don't have any other grade 1s to really activate that Negro Bone off of, but I'm sure they'll come as time goes on in this game. So over to our opponent. Let's say we took a damage this turn. Boom, 1 damage, shuts off everything else. Stand and draw. All right, drawing triggers. Again, not really much we can do about this. We have to ride the Greed Shade. Going to use the navigator one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Here it enables Negro Bone to kind of go off. So we are going to put this on the bottom of our deck. We're going to discard a card from our hand first. Let's discard one of our Night Roses. And then we get to call a grade 1 from our drop zone to rear guard circle. Let's call her. Let's call her up there. Bottom of our deck. She gets an additional +4, plus we can Soul Blast 1 out. Get a Dancing Cutlass in there. And we get to draw a card, which is nice. All right, cool. Do we have 2 Cutlasses now? Yeah, we do. So let's just keep that in mind for when we need that. All right. Yeah, I'm not going to call it quite yet. All right. Swing with her first, actually, and then him. Boom. Heal trigger. All right. Well, assume they weren't on any damage, so we heal out their turn. Let's say we take 1, 2. I like to have a pretty decent grade 2 turn. There we go. Standard draw. I'm going to ride into our Nightrose. We're going to get a protect marker. Let's go with her, just kind of on theme for the deck. We are now going to, let's do this. I feel like we have quite a bit in our drop zone as is. Yeah, why don't we do that? All right. What I'm going to do is activate a Dancing Cutlass. I'm going to bind 1, call this other guy out, and then put the top card of my deck into my drop zone. Negro Bone. Okay, cool. That's actually really awesome. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We do have 10. Let's do this. Let's rest these 2. Yeah, let's rest them. Get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, hate to see all those triggers in there, but it is what it is. All right, and now let us use Negro Bone. Discard a card from our hand, put this card into the bottom of our deck and call it grade 1 or greater. We can call anything. I'm gonna put that in there. We can call anything from our drop zone because we have more than 10. So let's call out, who is, yeah, we did have a Skull Dragon. It's up to us if we want to kind of do that this turn. I think we're gonna do it, yeah. Let's pop him out. All right. Drop zone, why am I shuffling? All right, let's go. This is an 11, so we're just gonna swing with that. This guy is gonna retire itself. We're then going to swing. This guy is boosted, skill, boom, boom, into the drop zone. Then we're going to swing with her. We're going to counterblast 1. Doesn't get that extra 10k because our opponent is not on grade 3. but we are then going to call out 2 cards. I'm actually going to go for more of a hand advantage kind of thing here rather than another Skull Dragon attack. Again, it depends on the flow of the game, but I'm just going to call her back out. Get the Skeleton Sea Navigator in there, and I'm going to swing. Oh yeah, skill for her though. Get a Soul Blast 1, draw a card. Drawing triggers. Alright, then these 2 go away. This card also lets us draw a card. So yeah, I got 2 cards off of that. Pretty plus right there. Set it up nicely for next turn. Definitely don't think we're gonna die. Let's say our opponent does hit us 1, 2, no trigger, so I'm gonna dump a little more from my hand. Boom, boom. Let's say we PG'd something, drop the Cutlass, drop that. Alright. Over to us, I'm going to stand and draw. Going to ride Nightrose again. It's nice that we had 2 of those in hand. Let's get our boy out this time. Let's see. What do we have in here? I think we have 2 of our... Yeah. Do we have a Columbard in here? We actually don't, so we can't enable the 5 attacks this turn. Can't really do that anyway, because I can't really call from hand, but let's do this. Let's bind 1 of these guys, get the second one out. Let us countercharge 1. An additional +5 on that. I think we're gonna risk it here. I'm gonna move this back actually. I'm gonna try to dump 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was really searching for the Columbard there, didn't get it, but that's alright. We have our Skull Dragons in there. Yeah. Just gonna go with Nightrose, Counterblast 1, call out 2 units. Wow, really didn't hit any Columbards in our drop zone. This whole big deck. Alright, I'm not going blind. I don't have any other Negro Bones in there either. Oh no, I did. I did have a Negro Bone in there. Whatever. Yeah, let's go for him. And for her to boost. Just get an extra little boost from that. Skill, Soul Blast 1. Well, let's Soul Blast this guy. And we are going to draw a card. So we gotta be careful now as the game kind of goes on. You find that you might deck out, so super powerful Skull Dragon here. Let's just swing, and yeah, that's kind of the pace of the game. I just want to show you guys what we could have done if we did have a Columbard from our drop zone. We essentially call out a Skull Dragon, call out a Columbard, we would counterblast 1, drop a card from our deck into the drop zone, and then we get to call out another card. So ideally we call out a second Skull Dragon. Then you have these 2 massive beaters kind of just on the board looking to finish the game out. That's the 5 attack Columbard combo. You have 1, 2 swing, put them away into the drop zone. This guy pops out along with Columbard, counterblast 1, and you call out another Skull Dragon or whatever it is that you really need. If you want another Ghost Ship to draw, you can do that too. But yeah, you can kind of see why Skeleton Navigator is kind of key. We need our key pieces in the drop zone, and I feel that it just kind of accelerates our strategy so much more. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. If you are enjoying, again, just subscribe to the channel. It really does help us out. You can drop a comment too. Any deck that you would like to see. We have tons of different decks that are still not on the channel. I'm trying to pile those all on out and get those out there. So yeah, let us know. Thanks again. This is Alex from Team Generations signing out.